Hello and welcome to another Paladin's Guide. This one today will be over Arcane Mages and all their wonderful glory. And it's not one button anymore. Well, for the most part. So today we're going to cover talents and glyphs along with the prime abilities for Arcane. We will not be going all over all the mage abilities because holy freaking crap, they didn't remove very many of them. The spellbook's massive, and it's all useless. Like, what you see on my screen, besides situational stuff, that's it. Sorry, guys. Arcane's not that in-depth, but it's a little bit more in-depth, and it's got a new resource, which we will cover in just a second. But first, on to the talents that I have chosen for leveling from 85, or possibly lower levels as you go, to level 90. This is not raids type stuff. This is not in-game craziness. This is just personal preference, and I thought maybe you guys would like to see it and give me your thoughts and comments to it. Alrighty, so first off, presence of mind. Instacast on anything that's not 10 seconds or longer, and it does not have a global cooldown, but it does have a 1.5 minute cooldown. Level 30, Temporal Shield. Costs 3,000 mana, 25 second cooldown. Envelops you in a Temporal Shield for 4 seconds. Damage taken while shielded will be healed back over 6 seconds. This spell is usable while stunned, frozen, incapacitated, feared, or asleep, and is not on the global cooldown. Now you might be wondering, well, why would you choose this over Ice Barrier? Well, I probably wouldn't, but I did want to take a look at it and see what I thought about it, and it does kind of fit the arcaneness of the thing, but that's not really important or reason why. I just wanted to check it out. To be honest, probably would actually choose Ice Barrier. It seems to be overall the better choice. So, Ring of Frost. Same as before, this is your level 85 special ability, currently in Cataclysm. I think it's 85. Maybe it's 83. Don't quite remember. Basically, you place a ring. Anyone who enters the ring or tries to leave the ring is frozen. Has a 30-yard range. Has a cast time now. I think it didn't have one before. And has a 30-second cooldown. And it lasts 10 seconds. Greater invisibility. This removes your regular invisibility and is greater. How so? Well, it instantly makes you invisible, reducing all threat and removing 2 damage over time effects. While invisible, you are untargetable by enemies. Last 20 seconds. Invisibility is cancelled if you perform any action. Any. Damage taken is reduced by 50% while invisible, and for 3 seconds after coming out of invisibility. It's greater. And it's got a 2.1 or 2.5 second cooldown. Pretty nifty. Pretty nifty. And last we're going to choose Nether Tempest. This is the arcane version, and while you can take any of them, this one just seems to be the better option for your spec. But you can take any of them, and you probably, there are situations in where you may. But because this is arcane, I wanted to show it off and test it. So Nether Tempest, 40-yard range, costs some mana. Speaking of which, okay, you're at 100k. Just checking. Places a Nether Tempest on the target, which deals X amount of arcane damage, which is quite a bit, 27,000, currently at level 85, over 12.26 seconds, affected by haste. Please note I am stacking a lot of haste right now. Everything on this character is forged for haste, specifically for testing purposes. Each time Nether Tempest deals damage, an additional 50% of the damage is also dealt to a random target within 10 yards. Pretty nifty. So let's move on to... obviously you can't choose these, and I don't know what I would choose currently without being able to actually weigh the options. However, Rune of Power seems pretty interesting. Just throwing that out there. So let's move on to your glyphs. I have no minor glyphs socketed because it doesn't matter, let's face it. I'd have that probably. I don't know why, but I'd have that. Anyway, moving right along, we have Glyph of Mana Gem, which turns your Mana Gem into a Brilliant Mana Gem, which holds 10 charges, which means you don't have to cast it as often to get it back, which means you can forget about it and it's okay. Yay. Whoa, 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 no zooming. Zooming bad. Let's just go ahead and go all the way up to the top. So, Glyph is slow. Your Arcane Blast applies slow. If you play Arcane, you already know about this, and you're used to it. Nothing big. Glyph of Evocation. Your Evocate also regains 60% of your health over its duration. Overall, great ability. However, if you have Invocation talent, you gain 20% of your maximum health upon the completion of Evocation. Okay, so you get 60 back, and then when it's done, you get 20 back, 20 more. So you get 80% in all, except one's actually a big heal. Pretty nifty. If you picked up the Rune of Power talent, you gain 1% of your health per second while standing in your own Rune of Power. Pretty nifty. Let's take a quick look back here. If you do Rune of Power, it has a 10-second cooldown. Dang. Has a cast time. And... ooh, I wonder if you can stack those. Okay, no. Focus. Last 1 minute. So that said, you get 1% of your health back per second. So for 60 seconds, you're gaining 1% of your total health. Total of 60% in all. Pretty good. So if you cast 2 of them, though, can they overlap? Let's see. Does not say. Let's see. That might be the one I would actually... oh, that also replaces your Evocation. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so moving on. No more. We're done. Bloop. Spells. I'm just going to flip to the last page here and then close this. So your spells. Arcane Blast. You know what this is. You know it, you love it. It's very simple, very menial. Stacks your charges. We'll go over that in just a second. Alright, 4 charges. What do? Arcane Blast. You might notice it just did a massive AoE. What? We'll get into that in just a second. I'm a jerk. We're going to do this though. As you can see, Nether Tempest. It's doing its craziness. Got a missile. If I wasn't at 4 stacks, this would give me a stack, but it does currently refresh it. Then you Arcane Blast and you hit multiple targets. Oh, hey, we can Arcane Missile again. This will show you. There you go. It gives you a stack. Now you're going to actually want to use Arcane Barrage, I believe. I don't see why you wouldn't. Because at 4 stacks, it increases the damage by 25%. So 100% extra damage and hits an extra nearby enemy or target for 50% of the damage you cause. So let's just go ahead and get these back up. Okay, we are at 4 charges. Didn't crit, but 20,000 for non-crit. You might say, well, you could stack this and it does 25%. Well, that's true. It doesn't seem to be consuming as much mana. Yes, it does. Okay, there it is. So, I guess it plays the same, but because they added the AoE, to me, it just seems a lot more interesting. And then you got some pretty crazy... there's some crazy... I don't know, this just looks psycho to me, let's be honest. There's so much AoE damage that you could do. It's not even including the fact that you can come in here, and this refreshes it, guaranteed, and occasionally, occasionally it gives you a charge. course, then again, you have to remember, though, the more mana you go through, and you only have 100k now, the more mana you go through, the less damage you do. So I think it'll be a lot more interesting for Arcane Mages to figure out a proper set of rotations. Of course, you probably... Wait, why are you not... Oh, I'm at full mana. Derp. Temporal Shield, just so we can look at it. Okay, that was boring. So yeah, we're done. Thank you for watching. Please do your things, and have a great day.